ways. Like if you were dating Justin Bieber's twin, Justin Bieber all of a sudden came on the scene, there'd be no way you wouldn't say no to that, would you?
Unbelievable. How unbelievable. Unbelievable, right? We just all have a pause for a minute. Hello guys, and welcome back to the Matchy Chapter podcast. As always, you are joined by me, Sav, and my beautiful sister, Tam.
Hello.
Guys, I'm going to be so honest right now. It is a miracle that we're even sitting here recording because we are a week late to recording after reading this book because I did not have a spare second in February to sit down and read. If you guys are more of an audiobook listener or reader, and you would know that there's no audiobook available for our book club pick for February, which is a little bit sad because sometimes when I have to cram in a read, I have to get the audiobook. So I was really struggling. So we're a week late to recording. And then this morning I arrive at the warehouse and I don't have my key, do I? So completely locked out. Had to order a locksmith to get me inside. But we're here, we're recording. We've got a coffee, so cheers.
Cheers.
And we're ready to talk about the Lindsay Lohan not Freaky Friday, Parent Trap business that was Shaylin Ghandi's
When We Had Forever.
Mm-hmm. And my Kindle has just gone dark because I've got my notes. So where should we kick us off? Immediately, first thoughts. Pages 1 to 5, what were you thinking? My
first thoughts were that we were going to enter like a really sad territory, bit of a heartbreaker of a story. It literally, starts out with her husband is dead. And so I was like, I don't know if I'm in the mood to read another heartbreaker. I don't know if I wanted something a little bit more upbeat. Yes, we've had like a few sad romances. Yeah, we have, so haven't we? Yeah. So I was a little bit, maybe not disappointed, but a little bit didn't really feel like I wanted to get into this one. But then as I kept reading, it definitely picked up. Within like pages 1 to 5, I thought, this is going to be a little bit cheesy, just like how some of the descriptive words on Mina's life and things like that. I was like, this is going to be a bit too cheesy for me. And then like how the whole meet cute happened. But I was immediately prepped for a suspenseful, thrillery kind of book, which we didn't get. Yeah. So I thought it would go in a different direction. Yeah. Originally, when they first started driving to the town that Mina needed to be at, I can't remember what town that was. Seattle, somewhere in Seattle. Yeah.
And I thought that maybe Kate, her best friend, had set something up with this guy. So I was thinking it was going down that path because Kate was like really involved. But then Kate just completely dropped off. Overall, I thought it was going to go in a different direction, which brings me actually to my strengths because I thought that the author did a really good job of articulating such a confusing situation, navigating like the twin swapping and the timelines. It was really easy to follow and it was very gripping and intriguing. Like I wanted to know what was happening next constantly. Yeah. My other strength for the book overall is I really did like the cabin in the woods like conversation with Grayson and how that was all introduced. I found it interesting that that came in about 55%. I was like, what more do we have? Yeah. And that's probably where my strengths finish with this book.
Yeah, well, I'm in agreement, I think, there. I really liked how the dual timeline was written. We had one that was sort of like that was captivating and emotional and passionate. The before timeline, like how she meets Michael. Yeah. And then we had the other one, the after timeline, which was a little bit more it was a bit slower, sadder, but things were coming together. It was tying things together, So I agree. I really liked the dual timeline, how it was written. Yeah. I loved the chemistry between the characters.
Grayson?
Yeah, between Grayson, who we thought was Michael, obviously at the
Yeah.
start, but between Grayson and Mina, you could feel the chemistry, you could feel the passion, like you just knew. And then when you were reading about Michael, during Michael and Mina's marriage, you could also feel the tension there and how Mina wasn't happy and something's not, you just kept saying something's not right. Like something's different when she's with her husband or when she's with Michael.
Yeah.
And so I really, the way the author has done that, I think is a good strength.
Yeah,
really strong.
I think that brings me to the fall down and the weakness of this book for me, because that really took me out of it, of how unbelievable that was. Like, can we just all have a pause for a minute? How do you go a 14-year marriage thinking something is off with your partner? Like, obvious clues. Number one, there is no world you would be okay with like a sexless holiday. That is so random. After their whole relationship for 14 years is based off great sex, and that's like their one connection because she can't do anything with him.
Yeah.
And then she goes, oh, let's just go on a sexless holiday, and she doesn't think anything of it.
Because it brings back who they were from that first month, because they had the no sex rule for the first month, and the chemistry and passion was still there. So they're trying to, in Mina's eyes, they're trying to recreate that.
Okay, I see where you're coming at. I get that. That's a good observation. But for 14 years,
But
I counted you the timeline. 14 years, like maybe 5 years or like 7 years when you get the 7-year itch and you're trying to like reinvent some things, take it back a step. Like, I really just was struggling with the 14 year marriage.
The whole plot. I do agree. The whole plot is far-fetched. Like, it is so far-fetched.
Incredibly far-fetched.
But I think that's what I like about it, because obviously, like, it could never happen.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, it could never happen. But that's why we enjoy these fiction books, because you're reading about something that, thank God, it would never happen.
I think I think I'm a little bit different with that. My fiction has to be, when we're talking about real people, it has to be real case scenarios for me to enjoy it. Otherwise I get taken out, unless there's like dragons, magic powers, or something that I know doesn't exist. It's really hard for me not to go, this is incredibly unbelievable. I have another great one too that I cannot, like, I have to have a little bit of a rant about this situation. But I think I'm going to go through my Kindle notes. Just bear with me. The last highlight I made in the book was page 250. And I think she's in a nail salon, and one of Grayson's fan groupie girls like notices that Mina just had a conversation with Grayson. And she walks over to Mina and they get chatting, and somehow this fangirl knows the situation, that she was married to the twin, etc. You guys read the book, you know what I'm talking about. But the fact that the fangirl goes, I don't mean to be disrespectful or anything, but you'd have to be out of your mind not to pursue that. Who cares what the situation is? Like, there is no world this is happening. I don't care how famous you are. Like, he's obviously not like Justin Bieber level famous. He's just some National Geographic celebrity. Like, so, is someone really that hot?
Could be. Like, if you were dating Justin Bieber's twin and Justin Bieber all of a sudden came on the scene, there'd be no way you wouldn't say no to that, would you?
But that's Justin Bieber. Like, this is some National Geographic guy that got stuck in an avalanche and became famous. Like, I know someone listening out there is going to agree with me that it was just so far-fetched.
Yeah, like, I do agree with you. I agree with you. But I think that's why I liked it. Give me far-fetched. Take me along for the ride any day.
Give me the vibes.
Yeah.
All the vibes.
The way the twist was revealed was a bit like lackluster.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I wanted sort of Mina to discover it for herself. Like, imagine coming across all this evidence that like pointed you in the direction that the dude you're married to is not the dude that you met at all.
Yeah.
And I think there's a scene in there where she does come across some divorce papers and some clippings of Grayson's pictures in Michael's office. And when that happened, I was like, oh yeah, this is where it's going to get.
I thought the
that's
same
where it's
thing.
gonna
Yeah,
get
there was
juicy.
multiple moments where I thought that was exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. So to me, the deliverance of the twist, him just like word vomiting everything, Grayson just word vomiting everything, was just a little bit lackluster and just a bit like not surprising at all. And the happily ever after of it all was drawn out too long. They could have, I think like you said, when we sort of got the twist, like when we got the twist at 55% or 60% or whatever it was, there was still like nearly half the book left. And I was like, what's going to happen with half the
happily
book?
ever after like started from 70%, didn't it, or something around about that point?
Yeah. It was like the ending of the book started way too soon.
Yeah.
And I wasn't ready for it to end, and for the build up that it was and the giant twist that it just was delivered a little bit. Yeah.
Because during that ending, we got the confessions from Grayson, her healing from Michael and the death, her ready to move on, her recovering her friendship with Kate, and then Grayson and Mina ending up together.
Yeah.
And that just isn't going to happen all in that
this,
time.
yeah.
It was very,
Yeah.
it was rushed, but still emotional and drawn out.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it kind of makes sense.
That brings me to the characters, and because I think a weakness of this book were the characters. The only character I really liked was Grayson.
Yeah, okay.
I think because I really liked his yearning.
Yeah.
I was just thinking a hot, yearning man. That is a little bit of me. So he was probably my favourite character.
Grayson definitely had the most ticks for a hot MMC.
Yeah.
I liked Mina as a character, but I just kept thinking, what the girl? Am I allowed to swear? What the heck, girl?
Yeah.
What the heck? Like, how are you not seeing all these things? You know, when she meets Grayson, he didn't realize his ID was in the car. And he's like, and she's like, oh, who keeps the ID in the glove box? And he's like, apparently I do. That right then I was like, this isn't great. This isn't Michael.
Yeah.
like you knew straight away.
Yeah.
So it was sort of like she was a little bit naive maybe for my liking for a female main character. Michael was just a huge red flag.
Yeah. Very aggressive. That boy needed therapy and a lot more rehab than what he got, because I know it's so terrible, the situation, but that is not how you handle it. You do not take your brother's partner off him. Like, and Grayson's helping him out. Like,
the guy's troubled, man.
Yeah.
The guy was troubled. Well written, but didn't like him as a character.
Yeah. I think because of how predictable the characters were written, it also made the midway guess really easy. I think I texted you like 10% of the way maybe, and I was like, there's twin business going on. It's giving Parent Trap. There's something, and you finished the book before me.
Yeah.
I was on the right page, but you also guessed it.
Oh yeah, like there was so many like hints along the way that you just knew straight away what was going on.
Yeah.
I think my midway guess was more of a like 30% into the book guess.
Yeah.
rather than halfway through. My brain was racking. I did think the real Michael was in prison the whole time, and Grayson was filling in for his life, and maybe Michael was responsible for Lily's death, and that's why he's in prison.
Yeah.
And then also that's why Michael didn't want to leave the country.
Yeah.
So the whole pilot flight thing, I didn't see that part coming. Definitely didn't see that part coming.
I think that scenario would have made a lot more sense, and I probably would have enjoyed it a little bit more, like if there was a murder or something more sinister.
Yeah. Do you agree the book had the potential to be a decent thriller?
Yes.
Rather than a contemporary romance?
Yes, I do. It was very thriller coded, and yeah. I haven't developed my thoughts on that, but
sorry. I also want to say too that I could see it coming. There is a point in it, it's on a page 195, where they're at the airport to go to Hawaii.
Yes.
And Michael is sweating. Michael looks ill, like he's too scared to get on the plane.
In the face.
Yeah, and he says, I need to go freshen up. And he goes and freshens up, and then he comes back. And Mina says, Michael is gone for several minutes. When he comes back, he looks better, astonishingly.
I
know. Girl, this dude's about to get on a flight that he's so scared of, and all of a sudden he just looks astonishingly better. Like,
unbelievable, right? Because I've actually got a highlight from a page 195 as well.
Yeah.
Where it says, longing kindles in his eyes. He's probably already regretting the no sex rule. It's like, really? That's what you're thinking about? Like, I don't know. Wait, is that the same thing? Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly the same, because that would be Grayson longing for the month that
Michael's
they had.
looking at me like he used to. No shutters, no walls, just wide opening aquamarine infinity. It's like, girl, it's not Michael. Or it is Michael. No, it's not Michael.
It's not, it's not the Michael that you know.
And
so we'll just call them Myson.
You know what catches me at the end is she goes, I'm preparing to see my husband. He rocks up at the cabin. It's not my husband. He's way better looking. So do they look identical, or are they different? Do you remember that when he rocks up into the cabin?
Yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah. Well, now he looks better looking. I don't know. I agree.
It's not my husband.
I get it.
He's better looking.
You persuaded me. The
Make
whole
up your
situation
mind.
is far-fetched.
Do they look identical? Are they not identical?
Can you not tell them apart?
Also, I swear every single biologically identical twin you can still tell apart. There's no planet where they look so identical you can partner swap.
I get it. Won't take it. It'll never happen to me.
It's never going to happen.
Okay, fair enough. We agree.
Yeah, which brings me to my rating. It was 2.5 out of 5. Throwing it in the bin.
We're so different on this one. Mine was a 4 stars.
A 4 stars.
Yeah. Like I said, I enjoyed the ride. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the riding. I enjoyed Grayson.
Pleased.
Oh yeah, I'm easily pleased. And it was good.
All right. All the love locked in February. We're putting it behind us. Let's pick our March read.
Let's. Yes.
Got the bubble bucket here. Oh, yeah. Let's hope it's not a romance, but I don't want to.
We're done with romances now, aren't we? Oh, here we go. Diabound by Sable Sorensen. Is that a fantasy?
Yeah, that's the famous book talk one, I think.
Oh, how good.
Yeah, the sequel's coming out in May. So that's perfect. You will hear the rain in this episode because it's the super cozy, bookish vibes, but the rain probably won't translate very nice on audio. But yeah, it's pouring down rain as we're recording. So hope it's not too bad for you guys.
Another tick in the all roads point to no, you won't be recording this.
I swear this whole record has been cursed. Anyway, the rain is going to get heavier, so I'm just going to wrap the episode up right now. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to see a description of the fantasy novel Diabound, I will have it on our Instagram. It's at the Matchy Chapter. Please go follow us over there. Don't forget to rate us 5-star. Leave a comment if you enjoyed this episode, and let us know what you thought of When We Had Forever by Shaylin Ghandi. Did you have the same thoughts? Did we get it completely wrong? Did you love it? Did you hate it? We want to know. Okay, guys, hope you have a great rest of your month, and we'll see you next episode.
See you later.
Bye, guys.